Let's learn from nature. In today's video, I'm going to teach you about our growth and our evolution using trees. You see this tree? The leaves are growing red. This leaf right there is growing green. All those trees are in the same area, under the same circumstances, under the same weather. However, they do not grow the same. They do not grow the same. They do not evolve the same. They don't even have the same shape. Those leaves are growing green. Okay, we keep going. You see that green was light green. We come this tree and the leaves is growing dark green. Stay to the end of the video. And this tree, leaves are not even growing. Okay, we keep going. And then we have this tree, the leaves are growing yellow, and this side is green. But it's in the same place, under the same weather, under the same circumstances, under the same conditions, but they still grow and evolve differently. Keep going. And let me know in the comments what was your takeaway from this video. They will keep going. Look, because this idea that we're supposed to be like everybody else, we're supposed to think like everybody else, or act like everybody else, or dress like everybody else who's around us, is completely false. Now you look at this tree, it's growing white leaves. I show you about 5 different trees that in the same area, under the same conditioning, under the same circumstances. But do you see how they are growing differently? They have different shapes, different leaves, different size, but they all still live in harmony. This tree is not worried about what this tree is doing. This tree is not focused on, oh, let me grow my leaves or my flowers the same way this tree is growing the leaves and the flowers. Absolutely not. The same applies to us human beings. Each of us have their own path and their own timing. So instead of you focusing on how somebody else is growing, focus on your growth. Your growth does not have to look like nobody else grow. It's not going to look like nobody else grow. The way you grow, the way you evolve cannot and will never look like nobody else. You, mentally, you are allowed to be different, as you should. Not even as your family members or your friends. You don't have to act or think like nobody but you. Let's learn from nature. Even though all of these trees are in the same area, under the same weather, under the same circumstances, but they still grow differently. And each tree has her own power, her own purpose, her own goal, her own strength. The same applies to this tree. Own power, own strength, own goal, but they are in the same area. So what can we learn from that? That no matter if we are around people, we don't have to be like those people, and that our success cannot and will not look like nobody else's success. But if you out here trying to make your success to look like everybody else's success, you are the one missing out. Because why would you want to look like someone you are not? Just because they are close to you, or because you know them, or because you all grew in the same country, in the same city, it does not matter. Let's enjoy the sunset a little bit. Minute of silence for the sunset. Cute. All the trees I have shown you, you see how they grow differently, right? They evolve differently. The same applies to us human beings. Imitation is bad. Imitation is a crime. Imitation, if you try to be like somebody else, that's it. You just sign up a way for you to be miserable and to be unhappy. Because why will you waste your precious energy, your precious time to be like somebody else when you can simply focus on yourself and be you and do you? Your growth is not somebody else's growth. Your success is not somebody else's success. Your evolution is not somebody else's evolution. So focus on you. You have your own path. You have your own timing. Even though all of these trees are growing differently, because I have shown it to you, but they are growing in their own pace, in their own timing, with their own path. The same applies to us human beings. We are all from this earth. That's what we share in common. But mentally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, all of us live in different worlds. My world mentally is not the same as yours mentally. Even physically, we can both be in the same city, but we both gonna have different experiences. Focus on your growth. Focus on your evolution. You don't have to look like somebody else, act like somebody else, think like somebody else in order for you to be successful, in order for you to accomplish your goals, in order for you to accomplish your dreams. You definitely don't. And I'm always learning from nature or listening to nature or pay attention to nature, because nature is in complete harmony. Because nature is always in harmony with nature, and because everything that comes from nature, to me, is the right thing. To me, is the truth, because it's nature. Another example, a couple months ago, this tree has no leaves. It was completely dry. This flower, it was brown, yellow. You couldn't see the green as much as you see it now. Why? Because of the season, because of the weather. The same way nature adjusts to the weather, that's how I learned that whatever situation, whatever circumstance I am in, instead of me fighting against the situation or fighting against the circumstance, I simply ask myself, how can I adjust my mindset to overcome this problem? How can I adjust my attitude to overcome this problem? How can I adjust my behavior to overcome whatever I'm going through? And you can do it too. When you can go back and look at my videos, it was a time it was freezing. It was snowing, right? But now it's not snowing anymore. Let's learn from nature. All these trees are in the same area, under the same circumstances, under the same weather, but they still grow differently. They still evolve differently. They even still look different. Why? Because they are staying authentic to themselves. The same applies to us human beings. Why do you want to be like somebody else when you can be you and do you, and that's more than enough? Why do you want to act like somebody else, behave like somebody else, think like somebody else? For what? Even in the market, original still more expensive than fake or than a copy. Me, I choose to stay true to myself. I choose to be myself. I choose to be authentic to myself, regardless if it makes sense to anybody, regardless if somebody agrees with it, regardless if somebody else disagrees with it. Just stay true to yourself. Isn't that simple? Look at those trees, like the same area, the same place, the same circumstances, the same weather, but those trees still grow differently. What can we learn from that? You have your own time, you have your own timing. Focus on you and not on those around you. You have your own path, you have your own timing. Focus on you and stay true to yourself. You don't have to look like somebody else. Look at all these trees. They are together, they are close to each other, but they still completely different. Shape, size, color, structure, form, still different. Stay true to yourself. Focus on your path, focus on your timing. It doesn't have to be like somebody else. It doesn't. You don't have to be nobody else. You are already you. That's more than enough. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know what's your takeaway. Put it in the comments. And by the way, this is what happiness looks like to me. I love to be barefoot, just walking around nature and listening to myself, because every time I talk, the first person that listens to my own thought and my own voice is me. So this is just me talking to myself, basically. So let me know in the comments, and stay true to yourself. Authenticity wins all day, every day.